rise.
That's a heavy responsibility.
Welcome back. Our main man Lighter is on the way. I'm sure you've seen a handful of early access videos on him already, explaining how he works and his kit, yada yada yada. But there is one issue about him that a lot of people have in their mind. What character am I even going to use this man with? The obvious answer is the 11th Soldier and Miss Joe, and maybe perhaps Bernice. But most people assumed Lighter was going to pair nicely with Miyabi. But then we got more info on Miyabi herself, and it turns out he will not work well with Miyabi. Basically, Lighter's additional ability requires a squad member from the Sons of Calydon and or of the attack class. And then Miyabi's additional ability previously was when another character in your squad is an anomaly character or on the same faction, you get your additional ability. But supposedly that was changed to when another character in your squad is a support character or on the same party, right? Or same squad, right? Section 6. So the same faction stayed the same, but it changed from anomaly to support. So basically that killed a lot of the Lighter and Miyabi teams, notably the Lighter, Bernice, and Miyabi team possibility. So Lighter and Miyabi teams can work, quotation marks, but without the additional ability on Lighter and especially the additional ability on Miyabi, it's kind of sus. So assuming that change actually makes it to live for Miyabi, that additional ability change, 07 to Lighter and Miyabi teams, basically, right? But going back to our first two DPS units that he can support, Soldier 11 will feel a lot better than she does now. But as much as I like Soldier 11, I'm not going to lie to you guys, her damage is not too much to brag about. She is solid, right? But Lighter is going to take that solid, is going to make it good, right? And it may be even great if you pull his actual W engine. If you pull Lighter's W engine, you'll take that solid all the way to great, you know? So it'll be really good with her. And Soldier 11's teammates can range from Lucy, Kaleda, Caesar, Bernice. I'd argue for Rena as well. And although I've never actually played it myself or seen anybody else play it, maybe even Nicole. And if I actually had Kaleda in the first place, I'd probably skip Lighter. But I don't really like her energy cost and how she plays that much, so Also, the ice buffing aspect of Lighter can't be ignored either. But if we look at Soldier 11's team options, I'd say Lighter can fit in pretty much any one of them, especially if it's Bernice and Caesar teams. Moving on to Joe, she already has a handful of direct supports already. I mean, Sakaku never leaves her side, pretty much. She gives her a team-wide 20% ice damage bonus, and she actually can give you up to 1,000 attack percent for the team, right? So pretty solid there. Lycone, it's quite literally on the same faction, you know, the Victoria Housekeeping faction, same faction as Ellen, right? He'll end up giving you, he'll reduce the ice reg by 25% for 30 seconds. And then Rena also on the same team as well. So she'd support Ellen by giving her that, you know, pin ratio for the entire squad. So with Ellen Joe, it's a bit of a fight for who gets subbed out, but it's a good problem to have, I guess, right? Because it's like, which character am I going to choose to buff my Ellen with? You know, I have a assortment of different people to pick from, right? Assuming you have those characters. I don't have Lycone, so that's why I feel like I'm going to pull for Lighter, because I don't have Lycone or Kaleda. My only centers I have is Ambi and Chingy. And like I said, you could use Lighter and Bernice if you wanted to, but maybe not the best option, despite them being from the same faction. Personally, I do find it a bit awkward when a character can do too much at once. Like the fact that this man buffs ice and fire at the same time made me think he was too spread thin because of, like, you know, balancing and stuff like that. So it wouldn't be that good of a buff because he's doing too much. But no, it's actually fine in that regard. However, if another center or buffer comes out in the future and they only buff ice or they only buff fire, they should be better than Lighter at that buffing of one element, right? If somebody else comes out and they only buff ice, I'm assuming that would be a better buffer for ice than Lighter would, you know? So the main general concern is Lighter's release time, right? His release window. If you don't have Ellen Joe or you don't have Soldier 11, which could very likely be the case, you basically got no one to use them with. And the upcoming big-eared fox doesn't really work as well as we intended her to, once again, if the claim is true, you still have no one to use them with. So if you're waiting for Miyabi, that's not really going to work. And if you don't have Ellen, you don't have Soldier 11, you're just kind of have no reason to pull him. So you end up with an ice and fire buffer that you can't really use yet, right? Yet. We most definitely will get like a sick fire DPS down the line, maybe even like an ice DPS as well down the line as well. So keep in mind that, you know, Soldier 11 is the only attack fire DPS that we have right now, you know, attack class. Soldier 11 is solid, don't get me wrong, but you know, you bet some crazy fire DPS on the way. And I theorize it's Pulchra. That's my assumption. That's my theory. It'll be Pulchra. You know, she'll somehow join the Sons of Calydon, and then boom, she fits Lighter's additional ability, and we're smooth sailing. Or driving. So take it as you will. I'd say pull for what you can actually see in the near future, not for the far and unknowable future. I'd assume most of you guys are going to be skipping Lighter and saving for the Obel squad or the virtual idols. Maybe even thinking about 1.4's remaining Section 6 characters like Haru Masa or the Void Hunter. So good luck to you all. If you like what you see, hit that button below. It really helps me out, you know. I see a lot of you guys just like tuning in and dipping out. But if you want to stick around, hit that button below. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one.